Deputies have 5.5 minutes. Will you commence, please? The clock is ticking. Well, Deputy Daly, I'm following the. You can argue all you like. You're ticking the clock down and wasting the time of other speakers who have yet to speak. Deputy Pringle, will you commence, please?
With respect, Chair, we're not actually wasting the time of other speakers. We're actually trying to make sure that we get the time that has been allocated to our grouping within here.
Deputy Pringle,
understanding orders.
I'm operating as what's been given to me by the office, and you're talking. No, there are at least another 8 speakers after this group. Whose time will run out if you don't start, Deputy Pringle. We will try and clarify it as you're speaking.
But, how can you clarify it as I'm speaking? Because if I take a third of 5.5 minutes, I am operating under the standing orders.
Deputy Pringle. You can argue against the clock all you like. There's a time limit on this. It is to be finished in 1 hour and 50 minutes for the Minister to respond. And we already have only 41 minutes left, and there is at least another 8 speakers. Deputy Pringle, you're only taking other people's time. I'm asking you to start.
Well, I'm actually not taking other people's time.
Absolutely.
But time is allocated to us under standing orders. So look,
you can
talk. I'll cut my contribution short just to facilitate the other members. Look, Minister, first of all, I'd like to start off by congratulating you on your appointment there. I know this motion tonight isn't directly your responsibility, but I think local authorities should have a far greater role in building control and building regulation in this state. Because we should have. Yeah? Oh, sorry. Okay, so I'll adjust myself again there. But anyway.
Speakers with 7.5 minutes, including Deputy Fitzmaurice. So, it's up to you.
Okay. So maybe you can calculate it out and advise us then when it takes place. But I think that's something that will have to be taken up at the Business Committee, because our group certainly wasn't aware. We've no objection to sharing with Deputy Fitzmaurice when it's required, but I think it's something that needs to be addressed. Anyway, Minister, I mean, this motion is very timely and I fully support it, and I think it's a very worthwhile motion from the Green Party, and there has been the tragic events in London, and hopefully, through the grace of God, we won't have any similar event here in this country. But I would like to use the time that I have actually to talk about the expert group report into defective blocks that were used in Donegal, where almost 5,000 homes, estimated that 5,000 homes, have been identified as having serious problems with the mica content in the blocks, and the houses are actually crumbling before people's eyes. And I know you're probably aware of this, Minister, but something the expert group report came out, and the Mica Action Group are very disappointed with the report because it actually doesn't make any concrete recommendations or any definite recommendations in terms of redress or remediation for those homeowners. And I think the government and we as an Oireachtas have a responsibility to actually deal with this and to assist homeowners in correcting the problem, even though it will cost a substantial amount of money, because we have failed to actually regulate the construction industry and the building industry. We don't have any, we don't insist that any product standards are implemented, we don't check them, we don't enforce them, and we don't require manufacturers to have product liability insurance, which would provide some comfort to homeowners that they could actually have some redress if there's a problem with their building at some stage in the future. And I think we need to address that. But I think in the motion is recommended that the local authorities be given extra staff to actually do on-the-spot inspections of houses as they're being constructed, and I think that would be a self-financing and very worthwhile step to take, because the self-regulation clearly doesn't work, and it won't work in the future. And I would just say, just in relation to the government amendment, there's a very interesting line in it where the government actually requests that